Hi guys, so in this video we're going to be talking a bit about our finances in the UK currently and what they're going to be changing to. So roughly at the moment, between both of our income, I only work part-time and you only work part-time too.
Yeah.
And that's on purpose. It's not because we don't want to work full-time, or we don't want to work full-time. We don't want to work full-time for someone else. So we have businesses, other projects on the side, but they're just not currently earning what we want them to.
We did have a business where we were dog sitting, so that was one of the businesses we were doing.
Yeah, we stopped that a few months ago.
Yeah.
Which was always the plan, to stop that a few months ago.
Mm.
So aside from that, I work part-time 2 days a week for a telecoms design company. But I generally do a lot more overtime and bits here and there. So I work more than 2 days a week really, but officially it's 2 days a week. Then I have a pet business on the side, which is a little bit quiet at the moment. I just make pet accessories and stuff. And then you...
Yeah, so then we've also got a limited company that we set up in January last year, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
And that's basically, I do the sort of like the physical work, the operational side of things, going out to care homes, providing like fitness and wellness activities, and you sort of run the admin and the business side a bit more so, don't you?
Yeah.
So yeah, generally speaking, between us, you know, we don't earn bad money, but if it's a bad month, and now that certain businesses we've given up like the dog business, and we've had a lot of contracts that have fallen through, haven't we, because of the cost of living crisis. So,
we spent weeks and weeks sorting things, and then
yeah,
just...
like I'm talking, the one contract was being negotiated for 2 months, and it was going to be, I wouldn't say life changing, but it would have doubled my salary essentially, and because of X reason and Y reason, mainly I would say probably because of the cost of living crisis, that just fell through. So
our bills are around 1,600 on
Yeah,
expensive months.
sounds about right.
That's water, council tax,
Gas and electric.
rent, gas and electric.
Rent alone for this house, it's a £250,000 house, and we're paying £1,000 a month, and it's a nice house. We've got offices near it. Well, yeah, it's not even that great, is it? Considering
it has the potential to be a really nice house, but there's a lot of problems. When we moved in, it wasn't... We moved in for convenience. It's opposite my parents, so it made it easier for looking after the family dog, and just there was a lot of reasons why I picked it, but it was for convenience. Would we have paid £1,000 if it wasn't where it was?
probably not, I don't think. But then again, the housing, or the rental prices, I should say, have gone up exponentially. Like, I mean,
I think what we could say is, if it was as advertised, we would have been okay paying that price, but it wasn't. So we had to do a lot of work for someone else, basically. So we do have a lot of outgoings just on the house, and yes, we could work more, but then we're just going to fall into the trap that everyone kind of gets stuck in here in the UK, and we don't really want to go that route.
Yeah, I mean, the best thing for my sort of mental health and my career progression has been becoming self-employed. I mean, I worked as a medic before now in the private sector, and all I ever spoke about was how awful work was. Like, not the job itself, but the people I had to work with. If you remember, like, it was soul destroying for you. You know, managers and colleagues that were just a nightmare. So being employed has it's never suited me very well. Being self-employed suits me a lot better. There's different challenges, but, you know, obviously one of the biggest challenges is financial stability, and that's a big factor, especially with the cost of living going up. So we've got 2 choices. We can either
start working more
and pay for things that we don't really truly want.
Yeah, because we don't want to be here. This isn't the kind of lifestyle we want. Or we start to make a move to the direction that we want to have. You know, the lifestyle that we want. So that's what we decided to do. So on top of our £1,600 a month, house costs. We've both got personal bills, things like phone and I don't know, like, you know, broadband. Well, that's a house bill. You know, just random things that everyone has. But then on top of that, I've also got some old debt that I need to pay off, so I'm paying that too. And then just general like food and
even the cost of food's gone up like massively. Like when I consider how much we were paying last year, like this time last year to what we're paying now, and also it's not very good quality food. It's like, you know, it's supermarket food generally speaking. You know, it's not organically grown. It's, you know, it doesn't last really as long as it used to as well. Like and the price is high. Whereas in Portugal, the hope is that we can go and eat, you know, from farmers markets and whatnot, and grow our own produce as well, and live off of that. So.
We actually watched a video, didn't we, on the food cost, like the rise in food prices and stuff.
Yeah.
And some things that are more like not important, maybe like 33% rise, but some things were like 150%
200%
increase.
Even like it was massive. Like the key sort of staple items, generally speaking, have gone up by like 100 to 200%.
Yeah.
Since like last year, this guy did a video on it and he compared his receipts from literally 12 months before, wasn't it? And the same supermarket, exact same items, so that's quite an accurate portrayal of it, I think.
Yeah. So how is this going to be affected when we move and stuff? So, well, first of all, we're going to be moving out of here, so into my parents'. I won't go into that too much. It just basically give us a little bit of time to save a little bit.
Pay off the debts, because the first month alone is probably going to be paying off. Not the house bills, I should say. Like
outstanding
house bills, I should say.
Yeah, things that we're not quite on top of, or the final payments, things like that. But when we move, it sounds like we'll have all this free money. We won't, because you're going to be stopping work. So
once we move to Portugal,
we're going to have my income basically.
So we've got to pay to move as well. We've got like ferry costs.
Yeah.
You know, we've got the cost of moving our stuff across when we do that as well, which is additional.
Yeah.
We've got the NIF numbers to pay for.
We've got so much to pay for.
Yeah.
Irish passports, the visa process, you know, different elements of that. Storage costs. Well, we're not actually going to have to pay storage costs, are we? Luckily, I think we've got family places where we can store things, but that was going to be a consideration.
Yeah. We've had to renew our passports as well, haven't we? Because we just wanted to. Well, I think yours had run out.
Mine was expired and yours was not far off expiring, so we just decided to renew them together so that
they're similar sort of timelines.
Yeah.
You know, and it just makes it easier because literally mine would have run out and I would have had like only like about a year in Portugal before I'd have to come back and renew it all. So, you know, well, a year between Portugal and here, which because of the 3 month off thing.
So just for comparison, obviously rent here we pay £1,000. That doesn't include any of like the usual bills, water, gas, electric, nothing like that. In Portugal we have, well, my dad and us have kind of like secured something where it's going to be £450 a month. Here we're in a 3-bed, there we're going to be in a 2-bed. So €450 a month. That's a big difference.
And it's over the summer period as well, which is like peak time. So an Airbnb over that time, we looked into Airbnbs before we looked into anything else. Like it goes from like, so let's say any time before June is like really affordable. Like you could get a really nice place for £300-400. It goes up to like £800 to £1,000 a month, doesn't it?
Yeah. Between
like June and like August, September time, because it's peak times.
If you go with Airbnb, then everything's included: water, gas, electric. So like Wi-Fi. So even that is way better than what we're paying here, and that's the expensive version of Portugal. We are talking more central Portugal. If you went south or like the cities, it will be a lot more. But you know, we're not interested in that, are we? Really?
No, we're looking to make a healthier shift to.
So already. most people will look at us and think, why don't you just work more, you know, do what everyone else does. Like, people just look at us a bit like peasants, really, don't they? Because, like, or think that we're lazy. They don't see all the work that we do outside of things that maybe isn't earning us money straight away. Things like the YouTube. You've got your own YouTube.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of hours recording, a lot of hours editing.
We've got multiple long-term business ventures, but
that we work on. That people just don't see the hours that go into that. Until you're successful, people don't want to know.
And that's it. And you know, people think I'm lazy, but essentially, I only work a handful of hours a week. You know, in person, I'll probably only do about 6 hours work a week, and I earn the same as what somebody would for working like 40 hours a week, 30, 40 hours a week. So generally speaking, there's a lot of hard work that's gone into just achieving that alone. Starting a business, starting a company up, it's a limited company, isn't it? Yeah. So starting a limited company up with no money and then being able to do that, it took a lot of work from both of us.
Yeah.
And people just can't, I think a lot of people can't see what we've put into it and, you know, how much we have to do to maintain that.
Most people finish their job at whatever time they finish their job, 5:30, 6 o'clock. Then they go home and then that's their own time. Whereas with us, we're more flexible on when we can do things, but we work way more hours.
Yeah,
but it's for ourselves, so when you're enjoying it and you like it, it doesn't feel like work.
Yeah, so I should reiterate that, like, I'll be out of the house working 6 hours a week, but then the rest of that time is like solid. We're just working all the time on business ventures, aren't we?
Yeah.
And you know, because we don't want to be in, it's a very cliche term, but the rat race. We don't, you know, we don't want to be stuck sort of chasing things that aren't really important to us.
Yeah.
And working for someone else and making them the money when we can try and do it for ourselves. But then again, we're struggling to make ends meet with the cost of living crisis. So.
Yeah, that's kind of what's flipped things on its head, especially when work isn't coming through, when you've spent months and months trying to sort it. But anyway, that's the kind of breakdown of our finances and where we're at. So if you have any questions, feel free to message us and ask, and we can do another video if we need to.
Yeah, we probably will do another video closer to the time, maybe on what it's actually costing us to move.
Yeah.
Like an update video, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've just thrown that out there. I'm not the one that has to edit them.
That's a good idea. I think that's a good idea.
We're still currently living in the house that we rent. We're moving out shortly, aren't we? In the next sort of week or so.
Yeah.
So we've given notice and whatnot, but we just thought, while it's fresh in our heads, we would quickly do this video on what things are costing us now.
Yeah. So we are recording a few videos today, just of updates, information, stuff. Just while we've got the house, really, and while it's quiet. So.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it really. You know, thanks for watching, guys, and thanks for supporting us.
Yeah, please like and subscribe the video, or comment what kind of videos and information you want from us, like as we're going along this journey, and we'll be happy to sort that out.
Yeah, absolutely. Till next time, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.